As a hurricane battered the Texas coast, I received a photo of my husband, a multi-million-dollar CEO, raising a champagne flute beside my sister in the Maldives. The charge? Billed to his company. I didn't scream. I opened his laptop. What I found wasn't an affair. It was a plan. A plan my entire family had signed. If you listen closely, you'll understand how I dismantled their kingdom with nothing more than a few well-timed emails and a Lancaster smile in court. My name is Claire Davenport. I'm 34 years old. I live in San Antonio, Texas, where the air clings to your skin and thunderstorms announce themselves like freight trains. By day, I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Omni Precision Systems, a medical software firm, where I manage logistics, prevent collapse, and fix problems before anyone notices they exist. I am very good at keeping systems from failing. I just didn't realize my marriage was one of them. I've been married 4 years to Jeremy Hartwell, CEO of Apex Global, a private equity golden boy who could sell ambition to a monk. He has the kind of smile that makes investors write checks and waiters bring better wine. That Monday night, I thought everything was under control. I stood in our minimalist kitchen, palms resting on cold quartz countertops, watching the sky bruise purple beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows. The hurricane warnings had been relentless for 3 days. I'd secured the shutters, checked the generator, stocked the emergency kit. Prepared, that's what I do. I just hadn't prepared for the storm inside my own house. I made the family roast chicken. It takes 2 hours to prepare it, as the smell of herbs and wine filled the room. Fighting against the metallic scent of rain seeping in through the vents, we were supposed to be celebrating. Jeremy had just closed a massive new fund for Apex Global, something he had been working on for 6 months. He had promised to be home by 7. At 8:15, my phone buzzed on the counter. It was a FaceTime request from Jeremy. I wiped my hands on a dish towel and propped the phone up against the wine bottle. When the connection clicked through, the image was grainy. The storm was messing with the cell towers, or maybe the internet, where he was simply terrible. "Hey, babe," Jeremy said. His voice was tight, clipped. He was wearing a casual polo shirt, which was odd because he usually wore a suit until he walked through the front door. "Hi," I said, trying to keep the disappointment out of my voice. "The roast chicken is getting cold. Are you close?" "I am so sorry, Claire," he said, and he actually looked pained. "I am stuck in Houston. A major investor panicked about the market volatility, and I had to fly out last minute to hold his hand. The weather here is a nightmare. All flights are grounded until tomorrow morning." I frowned. "Houston in late summer. That is terrible," I said. Instinct kicking in. "Do you have a hotel? Do you need me to call your assistant to rebook your morning meetings?" No, I handled it," he said quickly. Too quickly. "I just wanted to call and say happy anniversary for the fund launch. I will make it up to you. I have to go." The connection is, he started to move the phone, intending to hang up, but his hand slipped. The camera angle swung violently to the left before correcting itself. "I need you to listen to me very carefully right now." In that split second, the universe decided to show me the truth. It was not a snowy window in Houston that I saw. I saw a corner of a wall painted in all white, something you would see in a tropical resort. I saw a table behind him with a half-empty margarita glass sweating on a coaster that bore the distinctive logo of the Lux South Ari Atoll in the Maldives. And right there, draped casually over the back of a wicker chair just over his left shoulder, was a silk scarf. It was Erm's. It was printed with a very specific vibrant pattern of tigers and jungle leaves. I knew that scarf because I had spent $750 on it last December. I had wrapped it in gold paper and given it to my sister, Louise, for Christmas. My breath hitched in my throat. "Jeremy," I asked, my voice barely a whisper. He did not hear me. The screen froze. The video feed had lagged, stuck on a pixelated image of his collarbone, but the audio feed was still live. He thought he had ended the call. He lowered the phone, likely placing it face down on the table, but the microphone was still capturing everything. "You can hang up now, honey," a woman's voice said. It was unmistakably my mother, Rachel. Her laugh was a sharp, distinct bark that I had heard my entire life. Then another voice cut through the static. "Smoother, younger." "Turn it off, Jeremy," Louise said. Her voice was clear as a bell. "She will start reading you a moral lecture if you stay on too long. God, she is so exhausting. Come on, raise your glass. Let us toast to our new enterprise." Our new enterprise. The words hit me like a physical blow to the sternum. I stood there frozen, staring at the frozen pixels on my phone's screen while the audio continued for another 10 seconds. I heard the clink of glass against glass. I heard my father, Conrad, grumble something about the humidity being better than San Antonio. Then the connection finally died, and the screen went black. The silence that followed was louder than the wind howling outside. My heart was hammering against my ribs, a frantic, bird-like rhythm. It was the same feeling I used to get when I was 7 years old. Watching my parents drive away to take Louise to a beauty pageant while leaving me with a babysitter because I had homework to do. It was the feeling of being left behind. But this was worse. This was not just exclusion. This was deception. They were in the Maldives. My husband, my sister, my mother, my father. I did not scream. I did not throw the expensive bottle of wine against the wall, though the urge vibrated in my fingertips. Instead, the COO in me took over. When a system fails, you do not panic. You diagnose the error. You find the root cause. I walked calmly to the kitchen island and opened my laptop. Jeremy was brilliant at raising capital, but he was terrible with cybersecurity. He often asked me to print documents for him because he could not get the printer driver to work. Because of this, I had his email password saved in my browser. I had never used it. I respected his privacy. I respected our marriage. Tonight, I respected nothing but the truth. I logged into his corporate email account. I went straight to the search bar and typed in keywords like United and Delta. Nothing for Houston. Then I searched for confirmation. There it was. An email from a private charter service sent 3 days ago. Flight confirmation San Antonio to the Maldives. Departure Monday, 10 in the morning. Passenger manifest included Jeremy Hartwell, Louise Davenport, Conrad Davenport, and Rachel Davenport. Accommodation, Lux South Ari Atoll Resort in the Maldives. Total cost $56,000. Payment method Apex Global Corporate Card ending in 4120. He had taken my entire family on a luxury vacation, lied to my face about it, and charged it to his company as a business trip. But why? Why lie? If they wanted a family trip, we could have gone on a family trip, but why exclude me? And what did Louise mean by our new enterprise? I closed the browser tab and walked down the hallway to Jeremy's home office. The room smelled of leather and mahogany. On his desk sat his secondary laptop, a sleek gray machine he used for personal projects. He often left it running. I tapped the spacebar. The screen lit up. It was not password protected because he trusted the security of our home. He trusted me to be the dutiful, uninterested wife who was too busy with her own work to snoop. The screen was filled with the dark interface of Slack app. It was an internal workspace for Apex Global, but there was a private channel pinned to the top. The channel name made my blood run cold, the Enterprise Plan. I clicked on it. The members list confirmed my worst fears. Jeremy, Louise, Rachel, Conrad, and one other person, Gregory Blackwood. I knew Gregory. He was Jeremy's general counsel, a slippery lawyer with a shark-skinned suit and eyes that never blinked enough. I scrolled up to the messages in their group chat sent just an hour ago. Jeremy just finished the call with her. Told her I'm in Houston. She bought it. She's probably worrying about my hotel room right now. Louise sent a laughing emoji. God, she is so pathetic. Did you remember to tell her you miss her? Keep the guilt trip low. Gregory Blackwood wrote, focus everyone. The deception is necessary, but the signature is mandatory. Jeremy, remember to bring the trust amendment hard copy when you return. We cannot close the deal on the final block of shares without her signing off on the restructuring. Conrad wrote, do not worry, Gregory. She will sign. She always does what she thinks is best for the family. Rachel typed, exactly. Just tell her it is for tax purposes. Tell her it protects Louise's future. Claire has a savior complex. She lives to save everyone. And then the message that broke me. It was from Jeremy, sent just minutes before he called me. Jeremy wrote, relax. I know how to handle my wife. Let her think she is the benevolent queen of this family. In reality, she is just the draft horse. Once she signs this amendment, we strip the assets, move the capital to the new entity, and she can go back to her spreadsheets while we enjoy the dividends. I sat back in Jeremy's leather chair. The leather creaked, a sound that seemed deafening in the quiet room. Draft horse. That was what I was to them. Not a wife, not a daughter, not a sister. I was an animal to be worked until I collapsed. Pulling the carriage that they rode in, I looked out the window. The rain was slashing sideways now. The hurricane making landfall, trees were bending, threatening to snap. But inside my chest, the devastation was already absolute. They mocked my entire existence. I realized then that I was not a member of their family. I never had been. I was the territory they were planning to annex. I was the resource they were planning to mine until nothing was left. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone. I took a picture of the screen. Then I took a screenshot of the passenger manifest on my laptop. I did not cry. Tears are for people who still have hope that things can be fixed. I knew with the cold clarity of a surgeon that this could not be fixed. It had to be excised. I turned to the window, watching the storm rage, and spoke to the empty room. To you, to anyone who would listen. They think I am the draft horse. They think I am the one who pulls the weight and keeps my head down. They forgot one thing. A horse knows exactly where the stables are. And a horse knows exactly how to kick down the barn door when it smells smoke. That was the moment I understood. The storm outside was just wind and rain. It would pass, but the storm I was about to unleash on my family. That was going to be a Category 5. I closed the laptop, but I did not put it to sleep. I let it hum alive and waiting. Because to understand why I stood in that kitchen and calmly downloaded the folder that would incinerate my marriage, you have to understand the dynamics I grew up in. The Davenport family ecology. We lived in a small Texas town, and in our house, roles were assigned at birth. Louise was the star. I was stage crew. Louise had spun gold hair and a smile engineered for applause. By 5, my mother, Rachel, had her in every beauty pageant within a 300-mile radius. Weekends meant hairspray, sequins, and my mother chasing the life she believed she deserved through my sister. I was the dark-haired one, the quiet one, good at math, good at remembering the trash went out on Tuesdays. There's a term in psychology for families like this. The golden child and the scapegoat. But I wasn't even the scapegoat. I was the utility child. The one who keeps the lights on so the golden child can shine. I remember my high school graduation like a scar you can still feel before it rains. Valedictorian. Full scholarship in systems engineering at one of the best universities in Texas. 4 years of studying by flashlight while my parents and Louise watched reality TV downstairs. When I crossed the stage, diploma in hand, I searched the bleachers. Floral dress, broad shoulders, nothing. They were 4 hours away, driving Louise to an open casting call in Dallas. After the ceremony, I stood in the parking lot while other families hugged and took pictures. My phone rang, my mother. "Oh, Claire, honey, we're so sorry. We got a flat tire near Durant. Louise is panicking, the humidity is ruining her hair. You understand, right? You're the strong one. You don't need us hovering like she does. We'll celebrate later. Order yourself a pizza." I didn't order a pizza. I drove to the cemetery, sat on the hood of my dented sedan, ate a granola bar while the sun went down. I told myself being the strong one was a compliment.